Okay,
I sent them to Diane.
All right,
I know.
12:06, we'll call the meeting to order. Start off, first thing on the agenda is public comment. There is no public today. Diane is not here from the board. Everyone else is. First, the next thing on the agenda is approve the prior meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve them.
All in favor? Opposed? Passes unanimously. Next up, we have financial reports. Start off with the balance sheet. Diane is now present.
In the financials from last month, you had been asking on, there's that line item, I forget which page it's on, about where it says the reconciled discrepancy. The
Yeah.
dollar amount we can figure out, we have located where that came from. Right. It's from balancing, reconciling sort of the Vermont Community Foundation statements.
Okay.
It recorded improperly, so we ran into another question on trying to fix it, so that will get fixed. But we figured out where the heck that number came from.
Okay,
So,
fantastic.
That's way.
Now I will no longer be annoyed with it. I appreciate it.
And once I get through those, then that balance for that fund is real accurate enough.
Thank you.
Speaking of which, you get the VCF statements automatically.
No.
Yeah, somebody has to go in and download them and send them over.
Get them, I sent it to you,
Here's the,
last email that I sent to you and Roger.
Yeah, that was.
I got login information. I was able to get logged in.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
And if we want to print these off, these are the ones for the whole year, ending December 31st.
Okay. Great.
But what I found out that was
Yeah.
really weird is that what we thought were quarterly statements
Yeah.
were year-to-date quarterly statements.
Yeah.
So we were looking at two of them yesterday, and we said, we get the July, we get the June statement,
Mhm.
and we get the September statement. There's activity in each of them,
Yeah.
but they both have the same beginning balance. That didn't make any sense at all
Yeah.
until I went onto the site to try to start download, because I wanted to see them downloaded.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could download was year-to-date March, year-to-date June, year-to-date.
Okay.
So they would all have the same.
So they're all gonna have the same number, so.
Oh, we would always have the
Until
same number, for
until the new
but
year
each
date.
one is a cumulative,
Mhm.
each one's a cumulative report. So at least we now know that.
That's okay.
That helps to make more
Yeah.
sense.
That just. It seems, yeah.
I did read the early docs. At any time we want to do something with that money,
Yeah.
apparently it takes two members of the board to recommend it. I mean, Ally can always recommend something, but she can't implement it.
Yeah.
Two members of the board have to recommend it. We
Okay.
send a board resolution to them.
Yeah, we sent them
And-
like a copy of the minutes as they, we had a motion for it.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we can do what we want to do.
Like in the parking lot.
That's great. Thank you. You really put in some work.
And I'm gonna guess that where he found that they're year to quarter
Yeah.
statements. I'm gonna guess that's how the reconcile got messed up and the
Yeah.
discrepancy was there because.
It's showing the same number, but it's showing
Yeah.
So you put in
activity
the
in as
third
well.
number,
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
tax
exactly.
financial meeting.
Oh, wind and snow.
So that.
Find one in
That
the
should be a
parking
thing
lot,
of the
it's
past
fine.
once I get those
That'd be great.
straightened.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to do like we used to do in my CPA world, you put ESP. Every someplace.
Nice. All right. Anybody have any other questions on the balance sheet? Looking at it.
I'm trying to remember. I had a question. I don't remember if it was on the balance sheet or not, but I'm trying to pull up February's report because it was a comparative. Unexpended grants. What is that again?
It's-
Unexpended grants.
It's grants that we receive that we haven't spent the money for yet.
Okay, cool. That the courier?
It might be, I'm not sure. We, no, we have a separate line item.
So who would we be getting more grants from? Besides Korea?
I don't know yet.
Is it
No one.
no, when we switched over from the networks, remember?
Oh, yeah, we do have, that's a separate line item as
Yeah,
well.
the fiber
Um,
optic fund.
fiber
optics, yeah.
I don't know why I can't make it go back. No,
Hmm.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, the fiber optic fund is it's the last line on that page 306. And on the next page is the courier fund, 307.
Well, what's that?
Oops, sorry.
683? Is that
Mhm.
the same as the?
No, the other one's 632.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that and see which.
7.5 is the line.
I just had internet issues.
No,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Just kidding. That's fine. Computer.
I know this is a little out of order, but since you were talking about the DCF and the funds and what to do with them, just something to keep in mind. We were talking yesterday here. Ellis or somebody needs to double check and see if the laptop that I use in the back here,
He already did.
is it able to? Okay.
No.
So none of the computers are able to upgrade to Windows 11.
Except for this.
And he was the one guy.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
We no longer support it as of
No.
October. Thing this
Yeah.
year.
So,
So that'll be a expenditure just to, I know that's not only putting on the agenda, but just to keep it on the
We
radar.
don't want to take it out of that. Oh, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, they were
We
talking
need
about
it.
how it gets used. There's gonna be a large expenditure coming up because you're gonna have all these computers that need placed because we can't update them anymore. Including mine. Alice was gonna check on it
Yeah, he did.
after yesterday, so. So just to put it on back
Yep.
burner,
not too far in the back burner.
right?
And what, have you researched how much it's gonna cost for what you need to replace?
No.
Not yet. It's not always good and stuff.
Yeah, we can do it in steps. But I said at the last meeting that that would be something I would tackle in, the fall after winter, after summer reading program's over. Because it's just a big. Gonna be- Yeah,
Gonna be
and
interesting.
and we also had talked about the last meeting about how we were, thinking about replacing the printer too. And if we go to a different company, then we can also, and we get new computers, we could just not use the server anymore, so that would eliminate that expenditure.
How much is that expenditure?
The server and the copier together is $100 a month.
But we still have. Here.
We would still have a copier, but, I don't know how much another company would cost to service a different copier. So that's one of the things that I have to look into. So like,
Right.
that's all one big project for me, pretty much.
Just with Ellis being out for 2 weeks, it was probably put on the.
Oh, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
it's a fall project.
So
yeah.
obviously we didn't budget for that, but could
No.
it say come out of like the library office supplies and maybe we hold off on that table in the back room kind of thing?
I've contacted Josh and I haven't heard anything from him about the table. So, I have no idea if that's actually even,
Right.
on his.
Do we typically buy or lease stuff like the laptops?
We'll buy, we buy the hard
Please.
Okay.
and then the copier is leased. Actually, they might have, I think they bought it and it was just, they have just a service.
So. it might
Or
be on the-
maybe it's vice versa. I don't know. I wasn't.
I would think if they purchased it,
I think we
it'd
rent
be
it.
quicker to get you to buy a new one. I think if you're on a lease, then
Yeah,
bringing
I
it along
think
for the
so.
last 2 years,
Yeah.
that seems to make more sense.
Once we pull that stuff together in the
Yeah.
fall and, I'd like to help you out with that if you want, but I think that that's the point where we need to talk about, is that gonna be a big enough chunk that we need to think about using the VCF?
Yeah.
Because that may be what it was for.
Yeah.
Stuff that we can't get out of our regular budget, long-term, lasting for, we'll get several years out of it. So we can, we can assess that together.
I think there was a definite thing for it, but I think it was be less of that and more for like something like a bigger project for the library, something we really want to do. There was also talk of it being used for like scholarships for kids in the area. I think it was less of like little things for the building, and not that computers aren't a
Yeah.
big thing, but it would be more like, when they had other funds they did, like the children's room, all of the bookcases. So I think, I don't know, I mean, there's a
I mean,
chunk
this
of
may-
money though, so.
This may be a significant hit if we're talking about having to replace, how many?
Is that 4 or 5 computers?
Oh, no, it's more than that. 4 staff. And there's 3 public access, 7.
7.
And then a copier.
And the
printer,
copier.
Yeah.
That's kind of a
That could
separate
be a
thing
large
though.
chunk.
Well, it can be, or it can't be. It depends on, what we decide to do. Right.
Figure that out. Let's stick to the balance sheet right now.
Yeah.
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 Right.
We can easily spend
Yep.
like an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Uh,
maybe table that maybe for next
yeah.
month, just
Yeah,
put
maybe.
that down so that
Yeah,
it's
it's a
already.
Couple months.
Yeah.
A couple months later.
About that in September.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot that we have.
But
to
are you gonna
discuss
be
just
okay
about
with your computers
money
and stuff?
then?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're still gonna work. They're just not gonna get any updates.
they
Right.
stop updating in October.
Right.
So, I mean, theoretically.
This coming October.
Yes, this
Oh,
coming-
okay, so you're good for right now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Yeah, because updates fix everything.
Security especially.
That's the main concern.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on the balance sheet? I'm good with it. All right, move on to profit and loss.
So I have a few questions on profit and loss here. So noticing, going back to the February 2025 profit and loss, I noticed in the income that we had very few things kind of listed there. And then in the income for this month, there's a considerable amount more.
What, dates on the top that's grabbing the entire fiscal year. It's 7
Okay.
months, So I'm gonna guess that through everything from
Okay,
a
that was,
checkbox.
okay.
Sorry.
I was about to say, our copier use really increased, our coffee bar income increased. I was like, what did you do?
Crazy. Actually, it is a big month for copying because, taxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But not
Yeah.
that big.
No, I was very confused by that, but
Yeah.
no,
That's a good ask, right?
it's okay.
Would
That's,
you be able to send us a month one just so we can review on our own
Yeah, I can.
later on? Not right this second, in the middle of the meeting.
Okay, I can get it to you today, yeah.
All right,
okay,
thank you.
appreciate that.
Okay. So with that in mind, do we want to kind of just skip over this for the time being? We can review it next month when we have
Yeah.
all had a chance to look at a proper document.
That works.
Yes. 1 yes, 2 yeses. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I think we're good. And then we'll go to budget versus actual. I think this is the same. July 2024 to June 2025.
That's just the.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's.
It's right underneath, it says March 2025.
Yep.
That seems like a more reasonable copier to use. I was like, dang. You really.
Let me ask us a semi clueless question, and maybe not in this category here, I'm not sure, but at one point I saw that like salaries stayed the same this month from last month. He was gone for a few weeks. Was that vacation or sick time or?
So Ellis used a week of vacation and sick time all together, and then was not here, or did not get paid for this. Kendra did more hours on as a result.
So that's why the
So-
salary stayed the same. They're pretty much exact, I think. Okay, cool. Thank you.
I have a thought, I was talking with Carol yesterday, not necessarily with respect to this month's budget, but for the financial reports and specifically the budget actual, what I'd like to do, between now and July is take our fiscal 25-26 budget and try to, within QuickBooks, with Ally's help, with Carol's help, put them into about the periods that we think the hits comes. We don't have these
Okay.
really weird, unexplainable differences, variances by month.
Yeah.
If we've got something that we pay twice a year, we don't want to take it and spread it out evenly every month and find that we've got this huge discrepancy every month. If we say, okay, we know this is going to come in September, so let's put it for September. Then when we see our September month, the information should make more sense for us. And I think we can do that. I've played around with it in QuickBooks a little bit. And I can do that without jeopardizing any of the real books. It's just be in the budgeting lines. I think I'd like to do that, and then I'll present something and we'll see if we think that makes sense for us to use going forward. But I've got a few months to play with that.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
To have the, like.
Yeah, 'cause
point to hit when it's actually.
Yeah,
gonna-
the
make
percentage
sure
of
it's
variances just are really meaningless to us now.
I think that would be a great idea, because
Yeah.
sometimes these numbers, I'm like, I have to sit here and
Yeah.
like stare at one
Yeah.
number for it to.
And then it's
And
been a
even
month since we
sometimes
talked about it. And I was like, I
Yeah.
think there was a reason for it, but I
Yeah.
can't remember it. So I highlighted again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
that's true.
Yeah,
That
I have
would
to,
be
like, go
good.
back in my
Even
notes and see what
having
I wrote.
maybe a year-to-date as well as, the current month, because current month, even with reasonably good information, is only marginally relevant to us. It's, where are we for the year?
Yeah,
Have we overspent what we've got available? Or are we okay because this expense, which looks like we're over budget, well, we budgeted it for July because that's when it hit. We're not going to get any more of that.
Sure.
So we're going to be all set for the year. So we'll see if we can do something like that.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, great.
So looking at this, like our postage and shipping is way over, like.
Yep.
What was that again?
It's the courier.
Career.
Okay.
Adding the second stop of the courier.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, and we probably talked about that last month.
Mhm.
I'll probably bring it up next month too.
Okay, sure.
Or balancing it out somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big one was the programming, and you've been
Yeah,
figuring that out.
yeah, let's see, it's on the second page here.
Line 5316. Talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got $300 left.
Right? There's nothing.
We're just gonna,
Spend the boat will it.
yeah, April and May will be quiet months here at the library. We're just doing a lot of programming that's not expensive right now. Like Kendra's got 4 programs lined up for next week. One's a movie, we already own the movie. One's egg candling. Eggs cost us nothing, neither does darkness. Seed starting, we have the seeds, I'm bringing, like the empty flats of the seeds starting,
fun.
from my house, so those are free. I think we might have to buy, actually, we have a bag of potting soil in the shed, so we don't even have to buy
You
that.
could even like say, we're looking for donations and
Yeah,
in your weekly newsletter.
and then shrink art, we bought the plastic for the shrink art.
No,
It's
Frankie Dink.
Yeah, it's like, $20 or something, the package of fun. So that's a whole week of programming for like $20-$30 altogether.
And then you have June too, but the big thing is going into summer, like
Yeah, June is not a huge month for us.
And you said you'd be
the
paid
end of school.
last year for summer stuff, but this year we'll just wait till July.
Right.
Right?
Any other questions or comments on budget versus actual?
Unapplied cash bill payment expense. All the way down at the bottom, it doesn't even have a line number. What are we? This, I'm sure we talked about it before. What is going on with that?
Still chasing it.
Okay. Okay.
One of those items that's just,
It magically appears and it's like, oh,
The reconciliation.
It's funny,
No,
it
no.
cancels itself out.
no, right above that.
Applied
Yeah.
cash bill
Sorry,
payment.
coffee bar expense.
Yeah,
Last line.
At least that's small.
667.42.
I have a feeling that that is, we have voices somewhere, they're like ghosting in this system somewhere. I want to say it's for Baker and Taylor. And our two old bills that we paid them, we've sent them, they've been paid, but they still show up in the list somewhere. Like they got checked and the check written off and
Is that an
But
us thing or is that a them
it's,
thing?
no, it's in our system.
Okay.
It's been paid, but it still shows up in there every once in a while. In fact, I had his credit card bill did the same thing this month. When I printed the check, it put the line item for what it was supposed to be this month.
Hmm.
And it added last month's payment too, so
Oh.
we overpaid our credit card, so we won't need to do it next month, but.
Okay.
So, which unfortunately kind of moves our numbers, but not in the overall, but,
Yeah.
yeah, every once in a while there's critter in the program.
Okay.
So I believe that's what that one is. Diane, you said the reconciliation discrepancies, that is that number from the BCF reconciles. Where Roger was saying that the opening balance is the annual opening balance, not the quarterly opening balance. So when we did the balance,
Okay.
the statement threw in the correction there, and I think that's what that is. It's that the number. So that is what we're chasing.
Okay, great. Maybe you'll redo it and send it to us, I guess. So.
It's gonna take a minute to peel
Oh,
that
yeah.
one off, but yes,
Not
I'm
now.
hoping by next month, those are gone, the statements and done.
Okay, great. And then I see we're doing well with cleaning, so maybe some of the programming could come out of the cleaning. It's 42% left. Maybe you just haven't paid yet or something like that.
I mean, there were weeks during she was sick or, so
So we
she,
got a little extra, so that.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah, it all balances out in the end. It does. It does. I always have faith that it's going to work.
Good.
And then we just won't pay the trustee. I mean,
Don't even pay me for more stuff at the library, yeah.
All right. Any other questions, comments, budget was actual? Everybody okay with it for now? All right, do we want to do Kendra's report? She here?
sure, I believe I
Thought I
heard
heard
her.
her, yeah.
I'm gonna go grab some water while she goes.
She's- How's everyone doing?
Good. Like meetings,
Yeah. Good.
taxes, all this adulting stuff that just makes me crazy.
Yeah, responsibilities are no fun.
Mhm.
Got my water bottle.
So thirsty. Oh, geez, still here. But other than that, I'm great.
Print out.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have it printed out. It's okay.
How about you?
Yeah, we won't know until Tuesday.
Was the temperature okay though?
The temperature had come back up, but
Okay.
they may have experienced a shock.
Uh-oh.
We don't know.
Oh, my God.
Power was out for a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
Day one of our coop.
It only went out at like 6:45. So
Yeah, it was
they
out
went
like an
last
hour.
night, so
yeah.
they may have, we don't know. We won't know. The experience that we've signed up for, guys. We're continuing with our library explorers. It's going great. I actually had family with 2 young children, like a 2-month-old and a 2-year-old come in this morning, hand them a flyer. So it was, fingers crossed, they live right down the road. We may have recruited another family.
All right.
We're doing it. This Friday though is our week off between the 2 sessions.
The general.
Sort of give the 4-month-old a chance to get a little older.
Yeah, exactly. Really get that wake time. Although Pemmy always nap really well during library explorers. Then we have band program, which we've been trugging along with. We did like a pie-based story time with the math concept of pie, because we had a really cool book called Circumference and the Pie Dragon. And we calculated pie. It was really fun. We did sewing when we had a half-day one, and that was a little trickier. And I prepped the kids that like I am only one person. As you have problems, I cannot be helping all of you individually. They still were like, but nobody less.
Think positive.
And the 28th, we use the Xbox Connect again, and the kids really love that. And they do a great job. We have a timer, and they set times and take turns doing it. So it's very collaborative. And then they're also moving because it's the visual one. We like that. And then on the 4th, it was the day of the play, and a lot of our participants are also in the play. So many still got off the bus here, had some snack, and I just had the buckets of Legos out. And then as they needed to, they left. So we finished up our gold coin raffle, which this year had the added bonus of you could get raffle tickets by doing reviews. And we had a few people take it. They had to jump it. And including the person who did win did some reviews as well. I don't recall if the ticket I pulled was a review or not. She definitely increased her chances that way. So Steam Block.
What did you win?
A gift certificate to Bartleby's that I promised I will definitely go over and buy at some point. She mostly wanted bragging rights. So she's not like stressed. She knows I'm good for it.
Another way to work.
The storybook Coop is officially started this morning. We again hit it with a little bit of a bumpy road with our little power outage, but we added 12 more eggs after the power outage. So now my spin is that it's 1 through 18 experience the power outage, and eggs 19 to 30 did not. So we'll see if that impacts our hatch rates. We will know more about how they're doing because we will handle them next Tuesday.
And when you say candle them, what do you mean?
So it's use a really bright flashlight, obviously in the day,
Okay.
an actual candle,
Right.
but like the same way if you hold a flashlight like up to your finger, you
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So same idea. You look
Oh,
inside.
cool.
It's really cool.
Like, wait, what?
The second day we candle them,
Yeah.
because if they are developing correctly, you see them moving. And I reposted a Instagram reel that I posted from last year where you could see like the foot. Really cool. I've saved that for my Dover school kids. We're gonna do the candling. I specifically scheduled it out so that they will get that candling. Yeah.
Cheap ultrasounds.
Yeah.
Free. It does require that. I'm gonna spend my Easter afternoon coming in and hanging blankets and making the children room as dark as possible because I have to move the incubator as little as possible. And so it just seems like it would be less stressful to turn that into a darker space than to try and figure out how to move them in here safely. That was the darkest room. Although I have been taking them all in the bathroom to candle. Figure out which way to set them because that's really the darkest space. Just casual chicken thing. I still expect that day to be the 28th, but they can hatch, a little earlier, a little late. So it could be by a little bit, but we'll continue to see how many look like they're going good. We have a bunch of programs for April vacation. I didn't schedule anything. We have library explorers in the morning on April vacation on Friday, but I figured it's the Easter weekend. And so I didn't think a lot of people would be sticking around. We're doing the rescheduled Monday movie robot with the snack and the goodie bag that we had tried to do for February, but there was a power outage. And then Tuesday is when everybody in the community is welcome to come and watch me candle the eggs and talk, watch me geek out about like whether or not they're developing. It's less exciting because again, like you're looking for features and not like an actual movement. You're looking for stairs, that and veining and all. A little more nerdy and less like, whoa, everything's actually in there. Wednesday, the children's library and the main library are doing a collaborative program of planting seeds, like starters, trays, oil, to start seedlings. And Thursday, I got knockoff Shrinky Dink plastic. It's not brand name Shrinky Dinks, but works exactly the same. It's really cool. I traced Pete the Cat, Pigeon, Piggy, Jerry, all the characters. I shrunk them down and they were like starts out the page is like a 5x7. And then you do like, you know, a picture this big, it shrinks down to like a keychain. So hopefully we get fun.
Heat gun units for that?
We put them right in the toaster oven.
Okay.
It works out pretty good. I tested it and I've accumulated some Sharpies.
Well, if you want
Right.
to borrow a heat gun, then.
Might take you up on that. Because that I think would be more dramatic and fun to watch happen. I tried using like other markers, and it just has to be permanent markers, which is unfortunate because you know, children permanent markers. And then, so like I said, the Dover School, their big thing is that they're coming to watch the chicken candling for their day, and they have so many, it'll break. Won't have to like make candle the same mix. And then the award season is happening. It's very exciting. We had Golden Dome, which has 25 nominees, and we already had a few of the titles, and we've already gotten in a few of the titles. So I switched out my whole Golden Dome display. So we have 9 of the titles now, with 4 more we're waiting on back order because Baker and Taylor is a little right now. And then Red Clover is the picture book one. There's 10 nominees. We have 4 already, 2 of which are out, so you can't even get read my display, but that's fine. And then we have 1 more that we're waiting to show up. The Green Mountain Book Award is the YA one. And there was 15. We only had 1, and I did order 5 more. Really tough because we're still just not seeing a lot of movement in our YA collection. So it's kind of a stagnant space. It's hard to add a ton. But just read a really good book. The review. Bring it back on the shelf and take up space. We need to go on more field trips. We've had a lot of community requests for the Vermont Drag Story Hour to come and do a presentation.
Yes.
So I've been talking with the Vermont affiliate and trying to figure out the stay to have them come. They are coming kind of to Close Falls. They're not housed. They're like located in the top of the state. For travel cost reasons, it would be nice to kind of connect with time they're already coming most of the way down here. Otherwise that increases the cost. We also have a therapy dog that I-4E is really challenging for me. Abigail Littlefield and Virgil. His book is in the room as well, if you want to see it. I don't think he participated in the writing, but he is featured heavily as it is about him. They visit the Putney Library and Brattleboro area a lot. Abby didn't feel that regularly occurring visits here would really be a good fit for them, but she works with the Alliance for Therapy Dogs. So they have like, it's a national thing. And so I sent them an email, like a blurb about, you know, like where we are and like what we're hoping to do. Then they put it out to their whole volunteer. And then I haven't heard from anyone. We are, but she said, happy to come out and do like a one-off like book promotion thing. I'm very excited for Virgil's visit. Picked the half day in May because I intend to get decent attendance on half days. Who doesn't want to see a dog? Me and Virgil have a therapy session scheduled for 21st. Everyone's also been through with scheduling stuff for summer reading. Went in a slightly different direction for the kickoff party, and we're having educator come talk about pollinators and butterflies. And part of his program is also a t-shirt dyeing program.
Great.
So that was pretty on par with what I was hoping to do. Did you make because it's color our world felt like, and also a play on how much we're working on like growing and color and natural stuff. The pollinators kind of fit in, and I'm hoping a little bit more structure might set the tone for the summer for like events.
Mhm.
Well, it's a little more structure. Little calmness. Can I have my
What was it last year? I'm trying to remember.
last year we
Famous?
had a music performance? Yeah, and he was back here because the weather wasn't great. And we had the face painter, and she was in the children's room, and then it was just shenanigans about. So I'm, trying to step it back from just a free for all and thank you and have it be a little more like, like sit for a presentation. And hopefully that will kind of bring it back. You did. You are very talented.
And that's July.
Yeah, the June. June 28th, that's the kickoff day. But I also have the Vermont Natural Community Park. Vermont
Oh, I
Natural
see.
History Museum. They theme a program every year. So this year it's Colors of the Wild, and so they're scheduled for July. So those are our two kind of anchor points.
Great, nice.
Got a ton of books already ordered. That's as I alluded to with my awards people. Baker and Taylor is like big on having things be back ordered at the moment. I know it's not really their fault. So I already have a stack on the back counter of color-based books to on holding out for the summer. And I have a general outline of the type of programs I want to do. Can we wait? I'm already at this part, so now I just have to answer some questions.
Sure, I'll help you with that.
Allison just have to turn it on. That's clever.
So the Vermont Drag Story Hour.
I don't have anything booked yet.
Okay.
I'm still trying to talk to them about what works for them. And
Okay.
kind of busy month for them.
Now, what kind of thing do they do?
They are an organization that's been around for about 10 years, and they have it's a national organization, and then they used to have a state-based chapters, I guess is probably the best word. And so they do it's a story hour, but it's performed by drag queens, kings, I don't know if there's any other category.
Yep.
So they are to the performance of drag,
Right.
the art of drag. And so they're pretty well known. I've been to several of them. We did have one a few years ago here in town. A local business hosted them. Emoji Nightmare is the lead person, and she spoke at VLA last year.
Mhm. And she did a story time too.
She did,
Which
yes.
was awesome. It was so much fun.
But
Yeah, so it's like I don't think there's been one kind of in our general area. You have to travel a little bit to
Yep.
get to them. So I think that's why everyone's asking.
What is the cost for it?
The before travel is just under 300. So similar to what we pay for the Museum of Science, a little more than our pollinator guy. Like, very
And then do we pay for their travel and accommodations and?
They would travel down just for the day, so there's no accommodations. But if I can make it work for the day that they're going to be in Bellows Falls, then it's just the travel from Bellows Falls to here as opposed to like Montpelier. And so hoping that works for us. It'll keep it very comparable to the other events and speakers that we do. And I think it will get quite a big turnout.
Me too.
Oh,
I know it's gonna be massive.
if you
Yeah.
promote it, you get a lot of people from other towns living in here too.
Yeah, I think it's just something that a lot of people are interested in having. So myself included. And I know when I saw here at the local business, we did scratch art crowns and something else. It was Father's Day.
What business of it?
Doberman.
Oh, okay.
And I know that she would love to have them back, but she doesn't want to limit it, and her space is limited. So,
She's got a cool little place.
she does, yeah,
Yeah.
moved everything out of the way, and filled it right up with people, so,
Wow.
the whole store. Yes, without then.
What is your pin for your tablet?
Oh, it's,
Remember,
that
being
was
recorded.
Gavin, so it's 2019.
Thank
They're
you.
both years.
I can get into everything now.
And then, how are you doing with the reaching out to the homeschool families? I know we talked about that a few months ago and
Yes, I actually was gonna get back in touch with you because I made sure on my advertising about the second handling for the Storybook Coop to say that just, the logistics of having the school kids here.
yeah.
I didn't want that one to be like the general population, but I also wanted to make sure that it was open to homeschool families. So I did put a little thing in there. And then I tried to email the listserv that I had previously been given by a local homeschool family. And then it like bounced back. I don't know if that listserv has like gone out or if they were like, actually, no, we want nothing to do with those Gmail listserv things work. So I was actually meaning to reach out to you.
Yeah.
I know if you could share that.
Yeah.
That email too.
Yeah.
Because I would have absolutely no problem either running an additional candling session for homeschool kids, or if they wanted to come like at the same time as like similarly aged kids. Because what I'm hoping to do too with the candling for the kids, because let's be honest, they're all gonna want to be this close to see it. I want to set the GoPro up and turn my computer monitor and candle it like right there.
Okay,
That's a great.
And also that way it can be like recording and hopefully I can get some good content.
Cool.
Content of so.
Have you used like Front Porch Forum to try to get any of those homeschool families or anything like
I
that?
don't know about that.
It's a Vermont only thing.
Is it?
You don't know about Front Porch Forum?
Front
I
Porch
do.
Forum.
We have an account.
Throw some out there because I see a lot of them.
Like, I don't know about the French forum.
We'll
Look at amazing. It's a lot of local families and it's all done by like neighborhoods. So it's kind of like next door, but a lot less drama.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Really good. Definitely advertising there because I also have some things that I think a homeschool family is. Like I was just talking to Mike Porter last year for summer reading, we did a safety course.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, the bike stuff. So this year I want to do it earlier. I'm thinking maybe May, and have it not focus on general outdoor safety, really like dial it into the bike stuff with like, because the kids got to like pump up tires, he deflated them and they practice pumping them up and putting their
Great.
tank back on and stuff.
yeah, do you go to Eastern summer camp, right? So when the
Was
kids
it?
know how to like put their.
Yeah, and then when they went to summer camp, they were at the Dover School.
Oh
Summer
my
Camp,
gosh.
And like they were over there fixing all their bikes.
It was,
Great.
Well, and a couple of the kids have like like more mountain bikey bikes
Mhm.
where like to change the height of the seat and stuff, you need the hex wrench and all that. So,
and then
and
there
some of them
were,
get a chance to learn it when they go to Mount Snow summer camp, but not everybody gets to go to Mount Snow summer camp. So we'll just bring a little Mount Snow summer camp.
Do you know if the Dover school camp is gonna happen yet?
Probably not. It's looking less and less likely. We won't know for sure. Until the budget vote on the 21. Is Alice not out there? Oh, okay.
Oh, I see Alice. He's there.
You wanna go see Miss Becky? Go say bye. Let's go bye.
The school, the school
Sorry.
budget vote?
Is the,
28th, right?
that sounds about right.
So it's,
28th.
it's
It's
more
the one
with
in-
their budget vote and because they're
it's
hoping
based
to
out of
get,
the laughter budget. And so if that's being reduced in like, so there's like a grant and then there's additional funding. And if all we're getting is the grant for laughter, they'll likely just use it for after school programming. And the summer camp will just get cut and then all of our summer school kids will have to go to Townsend.
Townsend. There's the
That's
summer.
well, they would just get lumped in with like the rest of the district. for those services.
I'm assuming like your summer programming, do you reach out to Mount Snow? To the,
I have talked to Genevieve, because we don't have a mover stop. The only way we can kind of really be involved with them is through the story stroll, which, I am gonna try and make sure that I schedule my story strolls for a better time. I did it earlier thinking it would be more for like kids and strollers.
right,
It would be more appealing to them, but if I do it slightly later and pay attention to the mover schedule, I can do it so that like the groups that get dropped off at the playground can participate in.
could still give them the information about the library and the reading program
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
like weekend things and stuff, like if
Yeah.
you have
It's
material.
mostly, a lot of the kids are like Dover school kids, so they'll get it at the barbecue.
Got it. And Wardsboro, there's a lot of Wardsboro kids, right?
Yeah,
But they also
But
have their
yeah,
library. Yeah.
they have their own library, but also
Got
a
it.
lot of the ones that do connect with us here, they're in here and.
Yeah.
Nice. We've had a good push on my reading is rewarding. I've had many kids coming in and picking out their prizes, and it's not necessarily the kids I would have thought. So I'm excited for that. This is ending in June, guys. Like, we're moving on to summer reading.
Nice.
Coral's been saving up. She's like, we're not going in until my sheet's filled. And I'm like, oh,
We're out of time.
listen, I will make, yeah.
Everything that's in there is not gonna. Any other questions? All right.
Good job.
Well,
Robin.
hopefully we have about 30 chickies at the end of the month.
Yay. Don't tell my husband.
Hey, stand up and carry your.
Most of
Hey,
them
we're
are
done.
coming to Kendra.
We're done.
Kendra, Ashley, and I all donated eggs for the incubators. So, many will go to Kendra's house, a few will go to Ashley, and my husband doesn't know that we're getting.
And nobody tells Scotty.
Nobody tells Scotty.
Better to ask for
Or not
forgiveness
one
than.
thing.
Oh, he does not.
Scotty doesn't know.
He does not. He also is trying desperately to give away our roosters. So if anybody wants two
Oh, yeah.
roosters, or just one.
Don't give the rooster to somebody in a small neighborhood.
Well,
And done that.
yeah.
Why? What happens?
Bye bye.
They're mean.
Rooster never shuts
So-
up.
4. And within the next week, I'm husband. Now our fertilized eggs are in.
Can I drop-
Stu?
Can I drop Vicky and Rita off at your house? If you're doing anything for them,
And put them in a carrier and drive them all the way to Dover, for sure.
100%. Our roosters are kind.
My roosters are not. Metal piece, like TV baseball bat by the door to go out and get the eggs.
Wow.
They're very rude. Very rude.
All right.
The rooster cost us 4 potential buyers when we were selling our house.
Oh,
The noise was just, and the coop was about 6 feet from our property line, and we've only had a half an acre of property. So it's got, and the town had no noise ordinances for roosters. They got them for dogs, they got them for people.
so these were their chickens,
Those
not
were their
yours.
chickens,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
When the guy coming to pump your septic tells you, "Oh, it smells here," you know the neighbor's not cleaning his chicken.
Oh. That's awful.
So next up, we have old business, policy review. Did we pick one last month? I don't recall.
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
Or
Alright.
if we did, I forgot. So, we talked about no, I don't think we picked one.
Well, we can use this as an opportunity to pick one.
Okay, sounds good.
5 minutes. Silence.
Um.
Didn't you have a document with the list of them? I thought you had some.
We do. I do, somewhere. Oh, no.
That's the lunchtime walking.
Good. I think now that the mountain is closed, there, is the mountain closed?
The main base is closed.
Yeah.
Berthia's is still open.
I think we'll pick up. Alice was sick last week and called out, so I couldn't leave. So Angela went. She said she
She
didn't,
let it.
it was just her.
Okay.
But, it was very kind of her to offer. Uh, and she said she saw another car there. She was a little late. Saw another car there, but didn't know if they were there to join or not. So she said she never ran into anybody who was like, hey, are you? So this week, tomorrow, so I'll be a little late for book club tomorrow, but I will be there eventually. I know Jody sent it to me. At some point.
Do we want to move to election rosters while you look for that? That work for everyone? All right. So Kathy, you're the one who brought it up to me last month, right? And I totally forgot to put it on the agenda. Do you recall how
I put it on.
I was looking at the wrong agenda?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I was looking at the one I had made, not the one you had sent
That's
out.
what I said.
Yeah.
How it works. We nominate and then we vote on it. That's how it works.
Sounds good.
For,
So I nominate Richard
I second it.
to continue as chair.
I second that.
All in favor?
I.
Opposed? This is unanimously. I'll nominate Laura for vice chair.
Thanks. I second that.
All in favor? Aye, all opposed? Passes unanimously.
Nominate Kathy as the secretary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Again.
You're it.
I'll nominate Roger for treasurer. Right, treasurer? Yeah.
I
Also,
second that.
all in favor?
I.
Aye. All opposed? All right. It's unanimously. Everyone stays in their role. Lucky everyone.
Surprise.
Right, so that is that part. Did you find it?
No, not yet.
All right,
sorry.
we can move on to
I'm still with my.
the. Here.
Meeting time.
Yeah, meeting time. So we just wanted to bring it up to make sure everyone is able to attend as often as possible because it is very important to be involved in meetings. It helps us all stay informed, be on the same page about things, discuss things with the full board, and
Consistency is great.
yeah,
My absences have been entirely due to medical crap. Sorry, not time
yeah.
conflicts.
Would earlier or better work over? I know you had mentioned earlier or later would be better. for you.
Yeah,
If we
middle of the
do
day.
Earlier,
Really.
Carol won't be able to make it, which I value her input and her
Yeah,
help.
we do it when you can't make
We
it.
do it earlier.
Okay.
Before noon, yeah.
Yeah, so I
Oh, okay.
prefer,
Basically, look more.
if we are gonna change the time, I prefer it to be later so that we can continue to have her as an asset for us as a team.
Yeah.
When you say later, what hour are you thinking?
That's up
of
to everyone.
doing?
What are we all thinking, both of you too, Allison?
Well, I would just prefer not to do it after work.
No,
Yeah. As long as it's during
3
the
o'clock,
workday,
2 o'clock,
it doesn't. That doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Do any of those
I mean,
times
it-
work for you?
Yeah, if it's just later, it just gives me time to do all my stuff that I have to do in the morning instead of being like, my phone going nuts right now and being like, well, hold on, I gotta.
Was it 1 o'clock or 2
What
o'clock?
about two?
One or
3
two
hours
is much
later.
better. That's, yeah,
Yeah.
even just having one little hour.
What about
And you'd
like,
be good with.
your
pickup
daughter and pick up
Yeah,
and
that
my
like,
guy.
she-
All right.
easier or not?
Yeah, that
Better,
might,
better focus for you without her probably, 'cause
Yeah.
it's hard.
well,
Yeah.
she's old enough now that she can kind of entertain
Okay.
herself.
Yep.
She won't be in here asking me to pick her up. Thank God, I don't know if I can anymore. But, she's pretty, if I set her up with something. she's pretty
Two
self-contained.
still work for you?
Two would be a little harder for me just because of pickup.
Yeah,
But Swin Valley doesn't get out until 2:50. So, I mean, it's only a problem for the next 2 months, but
well,
Will
it'll,
someone else pick up on those days or?
not that I know of in it, I can't schedule out that, next month. My husband will be able to pick up because he won't know until that day, based upon the schedule he's given, of what his work is. So,
so do we want to try just moving an hour to 1 p.m.? That gives you a little
Well, it
more
used to
time in the
be.
morning and not too much later for pickups and all that.
It's fine. I'm
We can
fine,
give it
I'm
a
fine
shot,
with
see how it
anything.
works.
So-
And,
I'm fine with anything.
all right, so we'll give it a shot for 1 p.m. for next month.
which is
finally just
the
changed the
13th.
time in my calendar.
Yeah,
Right, it used to be
13th.
one.
Yes,
Yeah.
If we need to change it back, I mean, I can,
We can always modify it.
yeah, we can figure it out. Just
What time are
Makes it
you
a little easier.
available?
That's fine by me. I work mornings,
Bill?
so I leave early to come make it here by,
remember
I leave at
having a
11:30 to get here by 12 to do.
So is one better? But
Yeah,
Good enough.
yeah, later is fine, just not early.
Is there any possibility of making the next one 2 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock? Well, they generally work fine for me, but I'm gonna be in New York and we've got a board meeting of the apartment building we own a piece of that goes from 12 to 2. Could we do 2 o'clock just for next
you mean you'll
one?
be on Zoom doing
I'll be
it?
on, I'll be on Zoom, but at 1 o'clock I couldn't get on at all. And up to you guys.
that works.
I've been missing a lot of them. I don't want to miss any more than I need to, but if that works for next time.
Oh,
Okay.
I will be away on the 13th
Well, why don't we do a different
next month.
on Tuesday then instead? We've done that before where we've
Yeah.
changed to Tuesday.
I'll be at Stowe.
Look at my calendar.
As long as it's warned ahead, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
We can,
So normally it would be what are we looking, the
Any of
13th?
any of the other Tuesdays are fine.
Six.
As long as it's not the 27th, because that week the daycare is.
How about the 6th?
That works.
Because that's actually one, because April is so long.
yeah.
1,
It'll
2.
still be
3.
4 weeks
Yeah.
later.
Yep. May 6th?
So the 6th,
That will make potentially getting the reports and stuff to you guys a little difficult.
This is
Um,
closer to when
because-
they get sent out, yeah.
Because of when the month,
yeah,
when the statements come out and all that, I'll do my best, but I'll be in on the 5th to do payroll anyway, so I might just not be able to get them to you early at all. It might be, you get them at the.
Day of, yeah.
Yeah, so.
We've done that before.
Yeah.
Should we
That's how we
do it
used to
or a
do it,
different
yeah,
day of the
so-
week? I mean, as long as we have some consistency, if 1 month it's off, I don't think it's a big deal.
okay, so the
You can
6th,
do the 6th,
Yeah.
I just won't get your stuff to you as quickly, as early as I try, so. But
Oh, that's all
As long
right.
as it's fine by you guys.
Yeah, but even the night before, I think would be the night before.
Yeah, because I'll be in on Monday to do payroll, so I'll just plan that
Or,
Monday I stay
or
longer to get that
Tuesday
stuff done.
morning.
Yeah.
All
okay,
right,
so
so
Okay.
May
the
6th,
1,
So are we confirming the 6th?
May 6th, 1 p.m.
Okay, let me just.
We just have to warn the
Yeah.
earlier public.
Yeah, we'll do it a week earlier. And I'm requesting that day off of work. All right.
So that
Take
fixes
care of
your
the
issue
meantime.
and you're okay. And that works for you. So
Mhm.
great, okay. And it's at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we've done that. Policy reviews.
I'm working on it. I think I'm getting
All
there.
right,
I think, yeah,
I'm gonna grab some water real quick.
perfect, yes. Take your time.
I'm gonna stay.
I know I have it. I just
I'm looking for it.
the list of policy. Oh, policy calendar draft. Yes. Found it. Oh,
So we're looking at reviewing our own bylaws, or,
so the bylaws were just updated in January of last year, maybe.
It's early.
Yeah, I
wasn't it?
miss.
Oh, last,
they,
yeah,
they- I
yeah,
guess they were officially updated because you have to have them posted for 2 months or something before you can. Before they're officially, yeah, January 2024 was when they were last.
Yeah.
Approved. Or
because I remember when I
adopted.
came to the meeting after town meeting last year, there had been mention of bylaws. Talk about it being done.
Um,
I
When
remember.
I first shown interest in joining the board.
We did do the bylaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um. So I mean, you can look over those again. Um,
Oh, it's really soon.
oh,
huh,
yuck.
I'd be tired of the weather.
We haven't talked about,
We already did materials. didn't
we did
So,
materials. We did confidentiality. We haven't done displays and exhibits since I've been here. Um,
I'll make that the next one we review.
I think programming is a good one at some point too, just like in conversation with state
Mhm.
librarian, they're like, it's a good idea to have that policy.
yeah,
A lot of
We never
programming is
have.
going on.
Yeah. I'm
Go to
not really
programming
sure to be
next
on it, but it.
Woo, bless
Well,
you. Thank you.
I think programming would be good too. Also just,
Because summer's coming.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, we have a lot of programming about to start. But then not only that, but last time we had that issue of conversations that
properly, yeah.
happened
Hmm,
at a program.
Okay,
And so I think maybe address, I don't know.
Just
if that would be something-
general behavior. at
Yeah,
programs.
general behavior at programs. would
Did you
be-
guys get the email that
I saw it, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You did get back.
Good
My,
information,
something's off
yeah.
with my, email. Yeah, it's like,
Oh.
thank God. So I'm back to using
So
my,
programming.
I seem to receive them, but I can't send them.
yeah,
Right.
that's
That's
fine.
something you can put
Library.
together.
And I should make up a chart too of what
What
we've
we've already
done
done,
and
yeah.
what month we did it, so that maybe it helps the continuity of it.
Good idea.
Of the, I'm sorry, I have my own.
Of the policies that we've already done.
Yeah, okay. Just make up a new calendar.
All right, so we will
I think
tackle that.
programming too, we're kind of looking at like, is this program
So will
working?
you send out the
Like how
existing
to
policy
review our
on that?
programming and how effective it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So will you send out the existing policy on programming?
I don't know if we have.
I don't think so.
Okay, you're starting from scratch.
Oh, yeah, a while ago I sent you the document that has like all
Right,
of those
yep,
policies
yep,
on it. They're
okay.
really just like blurbs.
Yeah.
So anything that we have will be
Okay,
in that document. Does everybody have that document?
Pretty sure you sent it to all.
Yeah, I think
of
I
us,
sent
so-
it to everybody, but, okay,
Okay, so
And
thank
that
you.
I can guess myself.
leaves us with the director's report.
Oh, it's
And-
already.
Action.
I don't have any chickens to talk about, so it's really not,
Oh, well, then you're
not as
fine.
exciting.
Move around a little bit.
Do I have to sing?
No.
Good. I'm sure you'll all be happier.
Should bring Emery in.
She's at school, too bad. Okay, oh, I did have it open already, okay. So the biggest news is that I was accepted into the NELV leadership
Awesome.
program. So I actually just heard about it last week. I'll be in Stowe for 4 days in that that May block of time that we were just talking about. So the second week of May, I'll be in Stowe. It starts like a Monday afternoon and it goes through till like noon on Thursday. So, that'll be 4 days that I'm out. And of course, the Monday after that is the Vermont Library Association Conference. So that day we'll all be out, the 19th.
Mhm.
It's a Monday. It's at Killington. We're all signed up. We got the early bird rate. So
How much is it?
I think 120 early bird rate
Per person?
per person.
So
And
we, yeah.
it includes breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
Along with. And so.
So we'll have that plus your fees.
Yes,
for it.
yeah, and there's
Enough.
plenty.
Okay.
That would come out of staff development.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
So library closed, we'll have to announce it ahead of time so people really know.
Yeah, we did it last year. We got absolutely no negative feedback.
No.
So it was good. And we put it, we put it in our calendar. We put it on in the ad in the paper and everything. So we give people lots of notice. So the magazine vendor ghosted me.
Love that for them.
Yes, so I did it individually. It was a pain in the neck because magazines.com will not send magazines to Vermont for some reason. So specifically Vermont only.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell with us.
They were like, no. I emailed them and asked like, well, is there a different rate for sending to Vermont or what? And they were like, no, just not Vermont.
That's
So-
sort of like United Healthcare and their Medicare Advantage plan for this year. They just said, no, we're leaving. Go find someplace else.
Yeah,
Love that.
yeah. It's great for us.
So you just went into each
I
magazine.
had to go into each, the funniest thing is Better Homes and Gardens and that like whoever owns them and like many other magazines, they recommend, they don't sell their magazines right by themselves anymore. If you click on it, like subscribe,
To a third
they
party.
send you to magazines.com.
Oh.
So
Oh my gosh.
that was the runaround that I was getting, but we figured it out eventually. Alice found a different vendor for them to use, and hopefully we'll start seeing all of those.
Now, do you pay a special library, right?
Oh, they don't care.
Really?
They don't
Right.
care at all.
Books are different, right?
Books are different. Yes, yeah. We get it depends on the book and the kind of book, but typically like for an adult hardcover book, we get a 47% discount on a hardcover book.
Hmm.
So, that works out for us. So and then, our dear Ellis was out, but we missed him dearly. And, I spent a lot of time on the desk. Ellis gets paid not enough for his job. I do not want to do his job anymore. So we need him to stay healthy and happy and here forever.
I love that you're out front though. That's great.
It's just very hard to get anything done when like you're like, oh, okay, I finally can get this. And then somebody's like, hi, excuse me. And you're like, oh, okay. And then 10 minutes later they leave. And so what was I doing again?
yes,
And
yeah.
so I had a lot of started projects that didn't quite get finished. And then I was out for 3 days, being Aunt Allison and meeting my new little baby niece. And so that was another time. that I didn't get anything accomplished, but I feel like I didn't get anything accomplished in March, but I got a lot of stuff accomplished. So a lot of it was programming and preparing for summer programming. So Richard Wyzanski is willing to host the healthcare and humanity discussion. So
That one that you sort of picked too, or that was his choice
that was
again?
his choice again. So we're working out the dates of the individual meetings. We have a couple conflicts already scheduled, the things that were already scheduled. So, we're going back and forth about dates right now. The other hiccup in that might be that we're not sure how much funding the Vermont Humanities Council is receiving right now.
Okay.
So it's entirely possible that they will not fund this project. So they supply all of the books. And they pay a fee to the presenter. We pay $200 plus the cost of shipping the books back to them. So which last year was pretty
200
expensive.
for the summer or per time he comes?
No, for the whole summer.
Mhm.
So they might come back and say, well, we want you to spend more money or whatever. I don't know. I emailed them. I applied for the program last week. So hopefully we'll hear something soon, one way or the other, but it might also be up in the air because a lot of stuff is up in the air right now. Our container gardening program is scheduled. The presenter is going to come and talk to me tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to do a 3-part series, hopefully, of gardening programs, but she's got other ideas for other presenters to come and do. So it's like great.
Wait, who's coming?
So her name is Jody Larison. She did a presentation for me she's a master gardener. She did a presentation for me at Petty several years ago. And I know she did a couple of years ago, she presented at the Westover Church too. But she does a really nice program. And I think she thinks this will be the last time she does this specific program in the area. Yeah, but there's some other people that I'm looking at that she knows. You might be able to wrangle into coming to present here. And like Kendra said, next week, we're going to do our seed starting program, and that's going to be for adults and kids. So,
And this is on May 22nd.
that's on May 22nd.
What time of the
Do
day?
not know. We do not have a time yet. We're going to discuss that tonight. I have a friend who does a whole bunch of canning who has said she's going to do it. She'll do a canning
Oh, I love that.
workshop. It's good. We are going to do it in the kitchen of the hall. So,
Yes.
yeah. So it's going to have to be like kind of a smaller group. So it's going to be a sign up only. So if you want to come, you have to sign up in advance.
When does the sign up sheet come out?
Right? Yeah. Let me know.
I know a day.
If it's really popular, could you do another one?
sure, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then, unfortunately, we heard that the Sugar Maple Inn has sold and
I heard that.
they are gonna get rid of their restaurant. So, they don't want to hold,
Have you contacted anyone else about that?
not yet.
Talk to One Mountain.
That's a very good idea.
Gretchen is I think that's her name, Gretchen.
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, that's what it is. I knew it began with a G.
Same difference.
Listen, yeah. She's the young lady who's like helping manage it, but she was talking to me about if I knew any places that would want to do programs and stuff there to kind of draw people in.
Thought about that one, I talked to her.
Well, I was talking to her because she's like, you're here all the time. I was like, yeah, because I'm gotta go somewhere between, I have like hours time between picking up, my kid from daycare and when I'm done with work. So
They close up at 2, don't they?
no, so they're right now until they get their liquor license, they're closing after lunch.
Right,
But once they get their liquor license, they're gonna be
Okay.
open through dinner time.
okay.
So it'll be,
And we all
Perfect.
know that's the most important part of Silent Book Club.
yeah.
Without a margarita.
Are they having any hassles, getting a license?
I haven't heard anything about it. Yeah. No, when I talked to them about it, she was just like, yeah, it's just basically bureaucratic red tape. You just, they send you back the paper. You got to sign there. You got to sign there. You got to send it back. And so I was like, all right, just to sit and wait. But yeah, no, she seemed really open to try to get people in there.
Awesome.
So
That's great.
yeah,
We'll reach out. And then, the biggest thing that happened this past month is that oh, by the way, guys, it's National Library Week this week. So, yes. Time to celebrate libraries by defunding them. All of the employees of the IMLS were put on administrative leave and, they've been fired, and we don't know really what's happening yet. We haven't been updated by the state they've actually been really good about like touching base and being like, oh, you probably heard this. This is what it means. Like, oh, you heard this. This is what it means. But they don't know certain things either because there's nobody working there. There's nobody to contact to find out like, hey, are we going to get this? Are we going to get that? So, yeah, it becomes super problematic.
do we know when we're going to start to see impacts from that?
So, yeah, the fiscal year ends really soon. It could be, it could be today, it could be, we already see that the state decided not to sponsor the movie licensing, so here we have always paid for our movie license. We get like a professional movie license here. It's $400 a year, 400 something a year. And the reason why I believe that, we've always paid for it is because if you get that license, you can advertise the name of the movie in advance. On social media, in the newspaper and everything. If you get the library membership, it's free, but you cannot advertise the name of the movie in the newspaper, on Facebook. It's only on things that people subscribe to receive from you. So your newsletter or posting it in the library, you're not even really supposed to post it outside of the library, like on our lawn would be a no-no. So that is, I believe that's why they always did, so they could like advertise better.
Yeah.
Considering we have 0 people that come to our movies on a given day, I don't see why we would continue to have that major expense. So this year, I was like, oh, we're just gonna switch over to the state movie licensing. And then they announced that they weren't going to do it, but they also at the same time announced that the Green Mountain Library Consortium Board is going to subsidize it this year. We are not a Green Mountain Library Consortium library. But this year, they will not, you don't have to be. They're gonna do it for everyone. So,
What does it take to become part of the consortium?
you have to pay.
Is it worth?
It might be worth it next,
Okay.
next year it might be.
Companies are going
You
now.
won't show a movie at all if you don't have.
If you don't have a license, you cannot show a movie publicly. You could, in your house, you could call up your friends and say, hey, come over and see a movie, but you couldn't,
You're making everybody.
Not in the public
Yeah.
place.
and you couldn't charge, which that's another thing we have to agree not to charge.
And when is the date for when we got, did we already pay it or?
I have that note written down right here to find out when. It hasn't opened yet for, application, so I'm not sure. But it's not. I've done the application for the free service at Petty. I think we had more people come to our movies with the free license than up here we get for our movies.
But the one that we paid for being able to advertise it, when is that expire?
I don't know. I have to find out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even know we were paying those.
yeah. For years, I always wondered how Dover got away with advertising the name of the movie in the newspaper, and then we'd advertise in the newspaper and say, well, what's the name of the movie? And I said, you can't tell. I can't tell you what the name
It's a
is.
secret.
I can't post it. And they were like, that's crazy. Dover does it. And I'm like, yeah, they're not supposed to. And
Yeah.
then come to find out that they
Yeah,
were
I
actually
was
paying.
vaguely
like,
familiar, but I don't
Yeah.
remember the cost, or maybe it wasn't that much that long
And that's
ago.
completely separate from whatever it costs you to acquire the movie.
Yeah, well, and it does also limit some of the movie publishing houses, whatever you call it, um, you can't, there are certain companies that you're not allowed to use with the free license.
Mm.
But again, we don't really have anybody coming, so it doesn't really seem to matter what we show. If we show new movies, nobody comes. If we show old movies, nobody comes.
Why are we doing it?
I,
Why are we doing it?
Well, because it wasn't an
Nobody's-
expensive thing, but
Right.
it actually isn't.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not cheap. So, we do well with the kids' movies when there's like a half day or so, or no school.
Mhm.
So that, I mean, it's worthwhile having a license. Luckily, Disney is on the free license, so, that works out for us.
And here we are, it's like the programming, thing,
Mhm.
looking at things,
Yeah.
is it working, is it
Yeah.
not, what does it cost?
Yeah,
People coming, even if it's small, sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
so that's that. So that's like the first thing that we're really seeing is impact, has been impacted. But the courier service, what I'm really worried about with the courier service is not us not being able to afford it, but all of those really tiny libraries not being able to afford it without the grant and then dropping out. And then if they drop out, then, is it even worthwhile to have a courier service anymore? Because, and does the state subsidize it on the back end too? Like, yes, they subsidize the grants to us, but do they do it? Do they pay the company right away? I don't know.
Mhm.
So that could change. It would be we, back and forth, like lending and borrowing, we had almost 900 IOLs go through the library last year. And if we had to pay for each one of them to go through the postal service at $5.11 a piece, it's gonna get,
Yeah. That's
I
real tough.
guess then you just don't.
yeah,
You don't.
I mean,
It's the end of
you start
borrowing.
putting a little note in the book again, like, hey, you gotta donate to it. Like, when I got here, there were notes that said like, hey, this is an interlibrary loan book, why don't you donate? And, we got rid of those and we got the courier, and now I'm like, oh, don't make me do it again.
Yeah. I know it's hard because there are a lot of small libraries just don't have the money or the space to
Right.
hold all these books, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully that won't be the case. I mean, do some libraries, I mean, we get a grant, but are there libraries that get more grant than that?
For the
or-
courier, no,
So maybe it'll be okay,
yeah.
depending if it's more on the back end.
I mean, I know a library that didn't have a book buying budget. They just,
Mhm.
whatever they took by donations, they
Wow.
were used to.
But
buy.
maybe they're not part of this system anyways then. If they're
Yeah.
that small, you know what I mean?
There are some really small, like Jamaica's on the courier service, which I was shocked at. They didn't have a bathroom until a couple of years ago. I kid you not, they did not have a bathroom.
Oh,
There's one library left in the state that does not have a bathroom in it.
where?
I don't remember.
Well, maybe they don't have much, so it was
Field
worth
trip.
it to pay that.
Yeah.
and to Just get books in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just get more in than out. It sounds like we do both,
Yeah. So
yeah.
we'll see. But I'm hoping that it stays good.
Me too.
The databases those could disappear pretty quickly.
Now, what are the databases that are funded by the state library?
So if you, here, I'll pull up on our website, I'll show it
Okay.
on the screen.
Because I was looking online, but there's nothing that says like this one's funded by the state. or
Oh, yeah,
like
so-
that, So,
Almost a lot of them.
oh,
So the Palace Project,
yeah, that's
the audio ebook one.
Yeah.
The Peterson's Test and Career Prep,
oh,
Udemy, which
Oh.
is, classes.
yeah.
Legal Forms, the Chilton Library, and the Vermont Online Library.
Okay.
Do we have
What's
any
the
idea
Vermont
what the
Online
usage of
Library?
those is?
I would have to look that up, Roger, and the Vermont Online Library is, well, it doesn't want me.
Okay, we found a glitch.
Yeah,
Get it?
yes, all right. I don't know why it wouldn't let me click on it before. So it's, let me I'll just go right to it and show you. So it's a really cool resource. It's got,
Eddie Memorial. Library.
yeah, it just does it by your location. So you just have to change it to your correct library. So it's connected to the Udemy as well,
Mhm.
and then, it's got a whole bunch of different things that you can look at, but I love this children's one. It's really cool. You know, so let's see, we want to look at animals.
Now, do we know how many people actually access these resources, these databases from,
That's what Roger just asked.
Yeah.
I can
like,
look up and see how many people. I can't look and see like what they access specifically.
Okay.
It just shows me like how many sessions.
but we
there
can't
were.
say like, okay, like, we can't see how many people access Udemy versus this one or anything like that, so we can't be like, all right, this
Or
is.
don't, because they don't really know much
Yeah.
about it or
Yeah,
why
I
they would
just
use it.
took somebody up with the Udemy the other
Okay.
day. She was like, I used to use, it used to be called Universal. There used to be one called Universal Class, and
Yeah.
he was trying to get onto that. And I was like, oh, not that anymore. So,
So there's no way really to,
I don't
Figure that
know,
out.
because
Okay.
this is the first year we've had Udemy. I
okay,
just switched this fiscal year. So I haven't had to do the reporting back yet on it.
okay.
But as soon as I know, I will tell you. I have the information to like get into Gale to look at
Because I'm wondering
our
if
usage, so that might show it.
it's something that we find a lot of people are using,
Yeah.
like a lot of people are using an online resource, if it would be worth it for, the Dover Free Library constituents to keep that
Yeah.
going in case, just like keeping it in the back of our head in case we would.
Yeah. I think last year we had like a couple hundred people last year using, like a couple hundred sessions.
Yeah.
So it could be
Yeah.
one person logging in over and over.
For a couple
Or-
hundred times.
Yeah, I mean, like that was our
Yeah.
newspaper usage, with
Yeah.
one guy using the Brattleboro Reformer every day.
Mm.
So,
Good for him.
yeah, stay up to date. But, yeah, I'll look it up and see if I can get you a detailed look at it. But it's
Okay.
if you haven't used it, it's a really good,
I love
resource.
Udemy, so. I
I
didn't
think that
realize that
would
we
be,
had
it would be valuable for us to know that kind of usage, because if that's something that's going to go away
Yes.
and it's something that's popular, what alternatives might be available to us?
Yeah.
Gale is very expensive. It's very, very expensive. I'm just gonna warn you.
Yeah.
Right out.
So all, or many of these things are available. It's just a matter of the price tag.
Yes,
And those are, I presume, all annual price tags.
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I would, if I,
Ah,
I'd
love
say Gale would cost us. Depending on what, you'd have to add on each individual
That was the one that-
thing.
Module, yeah.
I'd say probably about $4,000.
Holy, a year?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
How much?
and that might be,
$4,000.
yeah,
So no.
that might be conservative. So, yeah, so that would be a shame to lose, because it's a really good resource for students too.
Yeah.
And then the performer grant, we have not received our performer grant this year yet. We filled out the paperwork. I have no idea if the state library already has the federal money that they give out for that, or if they haven't received it yet. So I don't know if we're
Now, what would that have been used for?
She typically uses it for the Southern Vermont Natural History Museum, because it
Okay.
just happens
Yeah.
to end up
Yeah.
being about the same.
Okay.
Um,
Who's the grant through?
it's through the state library. but they receive the federal funding for it and then they split it up. Like then we apply to the state and they split the money up.
Mm,
So that's why every year I have to do a federal grant reporting form because
There's
these
this other
are federal.
grants that probably are disappearing right now too, but like we got the circus and theater to come to the Dover School,
Mhm.
applied for grants and I can't
That's
remember.
the Vermont Council on Arts.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's gone.
Well, if they stick around
yeah.
and it comes through, that might be something for us to
Yeah.
use. I never even thought about
They
using it for the
only-
library.
They actually are really proactive about trying to give away their money. I've gone to several different things where they are trying to encourage people to apply for their grants. The one I've seen most specifically is them trying to get like the facilities grants to make buildings handicap accessible or ADA compliant. But yeah. I actually think they're doing a session at VLA this year about their grants. So hopefully I can get some information there.
yeah.
And yes, we did hear this week that there was a lawsuit filed about this, so hopefully it goes back, but they're also doing the budget, right? The federal budget right now, so.
Hopefully in our
Yeah.
lifetime, this stuff gets fixed.
Yeah.
So we might want to start thinking about how to fundraise
Mhm.
and so we had been planning to do a tie-dye program just anyway, because we just thought that would be a fun, colorful program for adults. A tie-dye program for adults.
Yeah, yeah.
No children allowed, and
I'm in.
yeah.
I am in. I will
like-
donate whatever is in my purse. For the money in that.
BYOW.
Bring your own wine. Policy is on that in the library. Well, we had wanted to do that anyway because, if you go do a tie-dyeing thing, your kids are always like, oh, help me with this, and I want to do that. And it's never about the
It
parents.
looks like mud.
Yeah. So I'm like, let's do something about the parents and let's like do a fun tie-dyeing. And I have a friend who does it like as a side gig. So I reached out to her to see if she'd be interested in doing, like a little lesson about how to do it, or at least just be on hand to be like, oh, well, if you want to make it look like this, then you help, to help
I
people
would
out.
love that. Cause I'm tired. of
So
doing
maybe
this one
fundraiser.
spinny thing that I know how to do.
Yesterday, Kendra and I started spitballing back and forth about making it a fundraiser, and I was thinking like we print the shirts for the last year we printed the shirts for summer reading program, and we did like if you finished the adult reading, you would get a t-shirt. We had one person or two people finish it. And we bought like 15 t-shirts. So we're still giving away last year's t-shirts. But I said, what if we just did white t-shirts this year with like the logo? And then we asked people to donate to buy the shirt and then they could tie-dye that Dover Free Library shirt. So like, in effect, we're also doing some PR with it too, because it's a Dover shirt. And then, so I started working out the money to see what it would cost. And it looks like our cost would be like $20 a shirt to do that. It's a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah. And then you think like, okay, well, if we ask people to donate $30 a shirt, if they pay $30 to come, then we make $10 a shirt. That's the cost at 20 shirts. It's
And
not
if
that
you
much.
order the wrong amount and you have too much of something.
Or the wrong
People
size.
should bring their own and you charge. It's
Yeah.
the fundraiser. You bring what you want to tie dye and we provide like.
BYOW.
Like,
Yeah.
we know we provide the dye and the expertise.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I think that.
and
I think
maybe
that's a
it's
great
town
idea.
hall for that one too,
Yeah.
right?
well, we're hoping outside.
Yeah. so
Yeah.
that'd be Nice.
No, you don't want the carpet, we just.
We the walls painted, we can really.
Splatter art.
I was mentioning that. The art wall, do we have?
We
any?
yeah, I have to work on that. So the one
And-
thing have been talking about with the art wall is the hanging system
Yeah.
that we need to buy, is not cheap either. So I can't really display art until I have a way to hang it up.
Okay.
Can you
And
just command strip it for now? Just like. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I assume that would probably work.
Yeah, just.
Those
so
things
it's-
are not cheap either.
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah.
Yeah,
As the artist, if you want to display your stuff, use command strip.
yeah. Bring your
We're
own.
just gonna tell people, bring your own command strips, bring your own
Yeah.
t-shirts.
Bring your own book.
Yeah, you know what?
The t-shirts, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
$17 a piece for 20 or for 30 shirts.
Yeah.
It's $17 a piece with the sale they have going on now.
Do we need them branded though? I mean,
Well, right, that's like,
yeah. Do we,
maybe we could just iron on transfer
That's what I'm
branding.
thinking.
But that'll never take it through the wash.
Oh, that's true. It
Yeah.
doesn't do as.
I think, I think we're gonna do that, to get the bang for the buck out of it, they need to be branded.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna keep looking into that. I'm also we're gonna work on making dessert social more of a fundraiser again.
That had a great turnout last year. I think that
Yeah.
would be great.
Yeah.
We're going to do.
You had the beaver, wait, is that what you took last year?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
the beaver.
Are you
lady.
still doing Beaver
So-
Lady?
No,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
we are,
The website still says you're doing Beaver Lady. The Blueberry Fest website.
I'm sure it hasn't been updated since last year.
Oh, they updated it for the new days.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Listen,
I
we
emailed
are
them.
very excited about the Blueberry Fest this year. Once it was updated, I got an alert, so.
Oh, well, Kendra is too. She already has plans for the parade.
I'm very
Um,
excited about that. I'm scheduling like my life around the Blueberry Festival, so I'm just. Okay.
Okay, well, I emailed Bethany to see about dates for the dessert social because we don't want to coincide with the comedy show again. So that is something I'm working on. And then once I have that date, I'm gonna reach out to Erica Reynolds. And they said last year that they had already been booked, but they would have been happy to play. So I'm gonna see if they'll play cheaply.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Erica Reynolds band.
So, right.
And then it's a party. Like, it doesn't need to be an educational experience. We can do education
Yeah.
any other time. Like, that's our time
Here.
to have like a fun night
Yeah.
for the library. So
Is that, I mean, that sounds great. Who came last year? Because I didn't get to come to it.
it was mostly there were a lot of kids
Mhm.
because Beaver Lady. Sounds
But
terrible.
but maybe that's what comes to these. So like, is this band good for kids too? and
Yes.
Families?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be fine for families.
Plus it's dessert.
She plays at the tap room.
Everybody's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
there's
was thinking it through. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine, so I think we can work it out. Yeah, hopefully maybe we'll get some more adults this year too, if it's not, a lecture.
Hmm.
We had a few people come last year and take desserts and leave.
Yeah, that was very weird.
That's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it was a group of, there was quite a few people that did that. And my husband and I were both like,
They just took desserts and left.
Yeah.
Did they donate money?
I
no,
don't think so.
it was almost like they were doing rounds of where they could get free stuff. Cause they had come in with the little free cups of blueberry coffee that you could get, grabbed their desserts. So they were like doing that.
Oh.
The dessert didn't come
Yeah.
out till after.
Yes, I know. It was a learning year last.
Yeah, sure,
It was a
yes.
learning
Yeah.
year. So we learned a lot of lessons. We have a very in-depth document. There's a spreadsheet about all of the things we'll be changing.
What
this
worked,
year.
what didn't.
Yeah,
We did some
They
things
grabbed
differently and
desserts
some
before
things
the
were great.
Judges too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Here.
think I was like, who are you and why are you
Yeah.
stealing food? But So I'm hoping we'll have a little bit of a different audience and maybe people who are, you know, who would come out just to have fun instead of
That all sounds great. Thank you.
think, oh yeah, so that's what I'm concentrating on this month.
I just have one question
Sure.
that I wasn't sure if it was for you or for Carol, but I don't know if it's a reporting thing. For Kendra sick time, it shows -29 available hours. And it shows 51 used.
She
Is
hers
she used as much sick time that she hasn't accrued yet, and we just kind of gave it to her?
hasn't used any
Really
sick time.
used any, I'll have to look into what.
It says 51 used and -29.23 available.
And she wouldn't have even accrued 51 hours at this
No.
point.
No,
All right,
I'll have to look into where that.
no, I don't
Where
think
that
she's
went
used
wrong.
any sick
Okay.
time.
so that was a Carol question. I wasn't sure who to direct it to.
That sounds funky. That might be it.
And this is a stupid question again, but that vacation and sick time is based on your year from when the employee starts, right?
I believe it's calendar year. I thought that would be something I'd have to look up in quick.
Does that need to be done during the?
Yeah,
Like,
and you put
they accrue it based upon
What?
the hours that they are working. I accrue it, I don't accrue it. I just get it. So,
Yours is filled out, like,
yeah,
earned up to a cap.
Why was I thinking?
Per calendar year.
do you know if it's per calendar year or per fiscal year?
Or like
Double-
their
I'd have to
year.
double check, I can't remember. I don't know if it goes on anniversary date or fiscal or calendar, I'm not
Well,
sure.
Ellis is just about the same. He started at the end of December, so, or the middle of December, so it's, that wouldn't be too different, calendar year versus his year.
To double check that.
all right.
It was confusing to me. I'm just,
Someone want to end the meeting?
I will make a motion to end this meeting at 1:47 PM. If there are no
Second.
further.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you,
Alright.
everyone.
Thank you.
how do we do
Thank
this?
you.
Turn off the recording.
I have something to add